my dear friends, and welcome back to Crypto in 5. Guys, what we're talking about today is massive, seriously huge. If you're holding Bitcoin, bought MSTR, MicroStrategy, or listen closely if your bags are packed with Ethereum or Solana waiting for that catch-up rally, this video might just define your strategy for the first half of 2026. Why? Because just yesterday, the ref of the global markets, MSCI, finally handed down its ultimate verdict on the crypto world. This decision could have been a total bloodbath, wiping out tens of billions of dollars instantly and causing Bitcoin to crash. But there was a shocking twist. So what exactly did MSCI say? What does this mean for the Bitcoin king Michael Saylor? More importantly, with Bitcoin stuck in this awkward spot at 94K, will the big money start rotating out? Can Ethereum and Solana ride this wave of institutional legitimacy to a legendary breakout? Don't worry. In today's deep dive, I'm going to break down all those confusing technical terms into bite-sized pieces for you. We're going to dig into MicroStrategy's win, MSCI's compromise, and the future price action for Ethereum and Solana. Plus, later in the video, I'll give you real-time price levels to watch specifically for Bitcoin, ETH, and SOL. Make sure you watch until the very end. All right, enough small talk, let's get straight into it. First, let's recap this nail-biting battle for the index. Friends, you might not know this, but for the past few months, a dark cloud has been hanging over the crypto industry. That threat was a proposal MSCI cooked up back in October 2025. Back then, MSCI said, "We need to keep our index pure. Companies with over 50% of their balance sheet in crypto aren't real companies and should be kicked out of our global standard indexes." Wow, when that news broke, the market was absolutely terrified. Think about it. Who is the poster child for all in on Bitcoin? It's MicroStrategy, of course, plus all those mining companies switching to a HODL strategy. JP Morgan analysts crunched the numbers and said if MicroStrategy actually got booted, passive index funds, which automatically follow these lists, would be forced to dump $2.8 billion worth of stock. If others like S&P followed suit, the selling pressure could hit $15 billion. What happens then? To save itself, MicroStrategy might have been forced to dump Bitcoin to lower its ratio. We're talking about $10 to $15 billion in Bitcoin sell pressure. If that happened, forget 100K Bitcoin might have crashed straight back to 50K. But here is the turning point. Just yesterday, January 6th, 2026, MSCI finally backed down. They officially announced, "We have decided not to remove listed companies holding significant crypto assets from the index for now." Hearing that, don't you just want to jump up and cheer? MicroStrategy is safe. Our Bitcoin treasury is safe. This isn't just a win for one company. It's a massive sign of respect from Wall Street to our crypto economy. MSCI has admitted that even if your vault is full of Bitcoin, you are still a vital part of the financial market. How real was the market reaction? MicroStrategy's stock jumped 6 to 7% after hours, and Bitcoin bounced right along with it. That's the market saying, phew, crisis averted. However, friends, if you think MicroStrategy can now just sit back and keep the infinite money printer running, you're being a bit too optimistic. I always tell you, these Wall Street elites are smart. MSCI let them stay, sure, but they played a tough card called parameter freezing. This part is a bit technical, but it's crucial, so listen up. It's like a teacher telling a rowdy student, "Okay, I won't expel you. You can stay in class. But you aren't allowed to run for class president anymore." Here are the details. For companies with over 50% crypto assets, MSCI won't remove them, but they will no longer increase their weight or importance in future index updates. What does that actually mean? Do you know Michael Saylor's most powerful trick? It's his money-making feedback loop. MicroStrategy constantly issues new shares to sell to investors. Before, when they did this, their rank in the MSCI index went up. When their rank went up, big pension funds and ETFs had to automatically buy more MicroStrategy stock. What does this boil down to? It means stock investors worldwide were accidentally helping Saylor buy more Bitcoin by providing him with constant cash. But now, MSCI says, game over. You can't use us to grow forever. By freezing these settings, MSCI cut off that automatic cash flow. In the future, if MicroStrategy raises another $1 billion by selling shares, those index funds won't be forced to buy them anymore. This move is brilliant. MSCI avoided a market crash, but they stopped MicroStrategy from using index rules to grow to an infinite size. So, while this is a victory, it's a limited win. If MicroStrategy wants its stock to keep rising, it has to attract real investors who actually want to be there, rather than just relying on automatic buying. This might slow down its growth. Keep that in mind. Now that we've covered Bitcoin and MicroStrategy, let's talk about the alts. I know many of you are holding tight to your ETH and SOL. This MSCI decision might be even bigger for you. Why? Because under the old 50% crypto rule, public companies holding Ethereum and Solana were basically dead on arrival. Let's look at Ethereum first. There's a company called Bitmine Immersion Technologies, BMNR. This company is basically the MicroStrategy of Ethereum. Reports show they hold nearly 3.97 million ETH, worth over $12 billion. Their crypto ratio is a massive 99.83%. If MSCI had gone through with the ban, BitMine would have been the first one kicked out. It would have lost all institutional support immediately. But now, MSCI hit the pause button. For BitMine, this is a total second chance at life. Its stock jumped 3.5% on the news. What does this prove? It proves that Ethereum is now seen as a legal and okay asset for public companies to hold. This opens the door for big players who want ETH exposure but can't buy it directly. Now let's look at Solana. Solana's situation is even more exciting. We know companies like SOL Strategies are hoarding huge amounts of SOL. For a proof-of-stake network like Solana, MSCI starting a discussion is a massive opportunity. Why? Because MicroStrategy holds Bitcoin just to sit on it. But companies holding SOL don't just sit there. They run the network, secure the system, and earn staking rewards like interest. People, this point is a game changer. In future talks, these Solana holding companies can tell MSCI, hey, we aren't just gambling on coins, we are building digital infrastructure. The rewards we earn are real business income, just like a landlord collecting rent. This concept is staking as a business. If MSCI accepts this, the future for Solana-based stocks might be even brighter than Bitcoin stocks, because they look more like real companies to Wall Street. Okay, enough with the background news. I know what you really want to know. Will this make the price go up? When moon? Let's pull up the charts and look at the most likely paths. First, Ethereum looks like it's building pressure for a big move. Look at ETH. Even with the BitMine news, it's currently sideways just above $3,000. Honestly, compared to Bitcoin hitting 90K, Ethereum has been pretty boring. Many of you are losing patience, right? But this MSCI news could be the spark. Why? Because it confirms ETH is a must-have asset for big institutions. Technically, keep your eyes on two levels. Resistance, the ceiling, $3,200. Look at the daily chart. 3,200 is the top of the range we've been in for 3 months. If ETH can break out with big green bars and volume is key here, the next stop is 3,500 or even 3,800. That's your catch-up pump. Support the floor, $2,850. As long as the price stays above $2,850, the trend is still up. For long-term investors, buying between $2,900 and $3,000 is a great deal. Why? Because Bitcoin is already flying, and the money will eventually flow into these cheaper assets. My take, ETH is a coiled spring. Don't sell your bags too early. Wait for the momentum to shift. Now, Solana. SOL's personality is different. It's a wild ride with huge swings. The MSCI news is a double win for SOL. It saved the stock listings and legitimized the staking economy. Looking at the chart, SOL is testing the $150 level. That's a big psychological hurdle. The good case. If Bitcoin stays steady at 94K and people feel brave, SOL could bounce harder than anything else. Once it clears 150, it's a straight shot to $200. The meme coin craze and on-chain activity are still booming, which supports the price. The bad case? But be careful. SOL's drops can be painful. The key support is between $120 and $130. If you're trading with leverage, that's a much safer place to look for an entry. To sum up SOL, follow the momentum. It's strong right now, and as long as the market doesn't tank, it'll likely beat Bitcoin in percentage gains. All right, back to the big brother Bitcoin. Can this win push us to the $100K milestone? Let's look straight at the BTC daily chart. The trend is obvious. Even though the news is good, Bitcoin didn't just skyrocket to $100K instantly. Why? Because the sell wall between $94,000 and $95,000 is incredibly tough. Lots of people who bought lower are taking their profits here. Every time we touch $94,500, it gets knocked back down like it hit an electric fence. The bears are fighting hard to keep it under 95K. So what happens next? Scenario 1, the bulls win. If more good news comes out or the stock market hits new highs, Bitcoin could blast through $95,000 with high volume. Once it holds 95,000 friends, there is nothing but open air. Technical suggests the next stop is the big 100K. There's no resistance in the way, so it could be a very fast move. Scenario 2, the dip and rip. But trading isn't just about wishing for the best. If we can't break that 95K wall, the price will naturally drop to find buyers. The strongest floor right now is the 90K to 91K zone. This is where the bulls must stand their ground. If it pulls back here and stays steady, that's a perfect chance to get on board, what we call a buy the dip opportunity. Scenario 3, the risk. Of course, if 90K breaks, watch out. We could see 88K. But with this MSCI news acting as a safety net, I think a huge crash below 90K is unlikely unless something crazy happens. So here is my personal game plan. Remember, this isn't financial advice. For the aggressive, if you don't have a position yet, you can nibble on dips near 91K to 92K. Keep a tight stop loss just below 90K and wait for the 95K breakout. For the conservative, just be patient. Wait for the price to actually break and close above 95,000. Then jump in. You might pay a bit more, but you'll have much more certainty that we are heading to 100K. Do not FOMO all in right at resistance like 94,000. That is the easiest way to get stuck at the top. And trust me, it's a long way down. All right, we covered a lot today. Let's recap. First, MicroStrategy won, but with limits. MSCI kept them in, which is very bullish. But parameter freezing means they can't grow quite as easily, so the stock price will become more normal. Second, ETH and SOL are being taken seriously. ETH needs to break 3,200 to start its rally. Solana is looking to challenge 150 based on its staking narrative. Third, Bitcoin's big test. Watch the 94K, 95K level. Break it, and we see 100K. If we drop, look for the iron floor at 90K to 91K. Finally, the usual reminder about risk. Friends, things move fast in crypto. While the MSCI news is great, the market is always full of surprises. My analysis is based on the logic we see today, but the market is the ultimate boss. We don't trade to guess the future. We trade to react to what's happening right now. So, whether you are betting on up or down, please use stop losses. Don't gamble with money you need for rent. Don't use too much leverage. Stay in the game so you can trade another day, okay? If MicroStrategy's stock wiggles or Bitcoin fails to break out, stay calm. Think for yourself. That's what we teach here at Crypto in 5. All right, that's a wrap for today's deep dive. After seeing this, are you holding ETH for the pump, trading the SOL volatility, or sticking strictly to Bitcoin? Let me know your plan in the comments below. I read them all. If this video helped you make sense of the MSCI news, please hit that like button, subscribe, and turn on notifications. I'm Crypto in 5, and I'll see you in the next one.